TYT Sports, everybody, with Dan, Steve, and Jason. Guys, we just went through our Turks of the Week. You can check out that link somewhere down here. We're going to move on to the jerks of Week 11 in the NFL. Dan, we're going to start with you again. Who was your jerk of Week 11?
Well, this is a pretty easy one. Jerk of the Week, Eli Manning. Giants fans, Jason, Giants fan, aren't you tired of this? Aren't you tired of watching the 5-pick Eli Manning game? Like, it has to be exhausting. And they're such bad picks. It's, you know, they were down 6, chance to win the game, goal line, pick, 5th pick. I mean, it's just ugly. And I think it's time to ask if Giants fans should say goodbye to Eli and we should get somebody else.
Eli, Coughlin, get rid of them all.
Yeah, I think it might be time. I mean, Odell Beckham's so good.
Yes.
You have, you know, good young receivers, especially when Cruz comes back. Jennings is good.
Larry Donnell.
You have a decent defense when they're all healthy. I just think it's time to maybe move on. I mean, that was just so ugly. I don't know what to say. It was that was vintage Eli Manning.
It's like a long relationship we're trying to get out of. It takes time.
It is. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and there's another question, which I don't know why when the game's on the line, again, coaches no longer just want to run inside the 5-yard line. So that's a totally different conversation.
Right.
But jerk of the week, Eli Manning. Pretty easy call.
All right. Steve?
Yeah, Eli Manning. Everything he said, plus Eli Manning's face. On that face alone, he's jerk of the week. Look at that face. There it is. Jason Rubin can kind of do it. Yeah. It's that Keystone beer, bitter beer taste face that he has. Yeah. And he looks, I don't know what it is. It's a half scowl, half like self-pity. I don't know what it is, but it looks terrible. And he just looks dim-witted. You know, he just looks like he's not intelligent enough to be a quarterback in the NFL. I mean, those throws are so bad. What are you doing? What are you doing? It was a very winnable game, and he kept throwing it away, literally just throwing it away. Who throws 5 interceptions? Two people in the NFL can throw 5 interceptions in a game. Who are they? Eli Manning, and who's the other one?
Jay
Cutler. Of course.
Exactly. Yeah, those guys, you can't win. I mean, although Eli has won too.
Yeah, I would take Eli Manning over Jay Cutler.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
That's
not okay.
would.
Eli, I'm
not
sorry. That's not a fair. That's not a fair comparison. You're better than Jay Cutler. You're not that much of a loser. But God, get some pocket awareness. And come on, those throws are awful.
They're bad.
It's hard to mourn the New York Giants season. Although Dan Patrick this morning was discussing how the Giants are like they're 3-7. Eli has 5 picks. You know what this looks like? The Giants are going to win the Super Bowl this year. They're going to win out the rest of the season and make a run. No, I don't think that's going to happen. Of course, I would want it to happen. But yeah, Eli absolutely deserves jerk of the week. Now, I have an honorable mention before I get to mine. That honorable mention is the 49ers offense. Because Eli threw 5 picks and they couldn't capitalize on more points. Yeah. When you have that many turnovers, you got to get something going. I think the 49ers have a lot of question marks still around that team. Granted, a lot of their defense is coming back in pieces. Could be very dangerous week 15, 16, and 17 if they find their way into the playoffs. But there's a problem with that because there's 2 teams in the NFC that are going to get screwed because of one entire division. My jerk of the week, the NFC South. The Atlanta Falcons are atop the NFC South right now at 4-6. To put this in perspective for everybody, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 2-8 and 2 games out of first place. That is pathetic.
That's strong.
The Falcons and Saints are both 4-6. The Panthers are 3-7. Bucks 2-8. As Peter King tweeted out yesterday, the Falcons went 50 days without winning a game. Borderline 2 months without winning an effing football game. But and because the Falcons or the Saints, or so help me God, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to win this division. And a team could be 6-10 and go to the playoffs. That means 2 teams in the NFC are going to get screwed out of a position in the playoffs, and that team very likely could be someone like the 49ers or the Seahawks, who might finish 9-7, 10-6.
That's tough. That is really tough. And by the way, I mean, if that's the case with the NFC South, like how bad are the Washington Redskins? I mean, they got crushed by the 2-8 Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
But by the way, the Bucs are better than 2-8, and the Redskins are much worse than whatever record they are. They are a terrible team, and what you don't quite know is that because they've had a couple of good wins like against the Cowboys, people forget how bad they really are because they've gone, I think, like 3 and they've won like 3 out of the last 18 or 20 games. I mean, some huge number of games. They've won very, very few. So yeah, the Redskins are terrible, and Robert Griffin is right now not a good quarterback. He's not healthy. He doesn't have a good system that supports him. That's another franchise that's in a bit of a turmoil. They're a bad team.
By the way, how psyched are you going to be if you're the wild card, like the number 6 or that weak wild card, and all of a sudden you get your first round draw and you get to play the Atlanta Falcons? You're ecstatic.
Yeah.
It's very true. Last stat for the Falcons, 'cause this is just shocking. Falcons have 238 points for. Anyone want to take a guess at how many points against they have this season?
238-4.
They have points for 238.
Okay. Points against?
410.
Nah, 255. But they have less points for than they have against, and they are in first place.
That's why they're 4-6. And don't forget, they won one of those games like 50-7 against the Bucs.
In the most insignificant division in NFL history, who's going to win the division? Real quick.
Saints.
I have to go with the Saints.
Let's go Bucs. Thanks for watching Turks this week, guys. We'll make sure to stick around for next week. Don't forget to subscribe and leave your comments in the what section below?
The comment section.
There you go.
And Ben will be back. Ben will be back next week.